In a quiet village hidden between endless green hills, a child was born under a cursed star. His name was Elias Verne, and unlike any other, his life would not stretch across decades. Instead, for every day he lived, a full year would pass upon his body. By the time he was 1 month old, he would be 30. If he lived to see 100 days, he would have outlived entire generations. This is his story. On the morning of his birth, Elias was like any other newborn, small, fragile, unaware. But by the time night fell, he was no longer an infant. His limbs lengthened, his eyes gained the clarity of a toddler. His mother, Lyra, wept as she held him, watching her baby transform in a matter of hours. By the second day, Elias was already walking, his small feet unsteady but eager. By the third, he spoke his first words. His father, Dren, a hunter of the village, knelt before his son, staring into the face of a child who was aging before his very eyes. "He will not last long," the elders murmured. "At this pace, he will be old before he understands the world." By his 7th day, Elias was the size of a 7-year-old. Other children watched him in awe and fear. He had grown tall enough to outrun them, yet he was still a child inside, trying to make sense of the world moving too slowly around him. His parents took him to a wandering mystic who passed through the village. The old man traced strange symbols in the dirt and whispered incantations, but when he met Elias's gaze, his face darkened. "The curse cannot be undone," he said, "but it is not death that should frighten you. It is how much life he will have to endure in so little time." By his 15th day, Elias was a young man, his body strong, his voice deep. Yet inside, he was still a boy, struggling to understand the emotions and responsibilities that came with his ever-changing body. He trained with the hunters, his reflexes sharp. He learned to wield a bow and hunt deer before others his age had even begun their training. He read books by candlelight, knowing he had no time to waste. Yet as he grew older each day, the village remained the same. The seasons barely shifted, the children who once played with him still small, while he towered over them like a grown man. Then came Lyra. She was the daughter of the village healer, curious and kind. Unlike others, she did not fear Elias. She sat with him under the great oak tree, where they spoke of dreams and distant lands. "You live too fast," she said one evening, watching the sunset. "But that only means you must live more deeply than anyone else." Elias smiled, though he knew the truth. Each sunrise stole another year. Each night, he drifted closer to old age. By the time he reached his 25th day, he was nearly middle-aged. His strength remained, but silver touched his hair, and his joints ached after long hunts. The village children no longer recognized him. "I do not belong here," he told Lyra. "By the time they are grown, I will be gone." But she only took his hand and held it tightly. "Then make the most of now." By his 30th day, Elias was an old man. His hair had turned white, his steps slow. He no longer hunted, no longer ran through the village. He spent his time beneath the oak tree, carving his thoughts into wooden tablets, determined to leave something behind. Lyra sat beside him each day, her fingers tracing the wrinkles on his hands. "Do you regret it?" she asked. He shook his head, smiling. "I have lived more in these 30 days than many do in 70 years. I have loved, I have fought. I have seen the sunrise 30 times, and each time it felt new." That night, under a silver moon, Elias lay beneath the oak tree and closed his eyes. His breath slowed, his heartbeat faded, and with the coming dawn, he was gone. The village mourned him, but they did not forget. His words, carved into wood and stone, became wisdom passed through generations. Parents told their children the story of Elias Verne, the boy who lived too fast but never wasted a single moment. And under the great oak tree where he had spent his final days, Lyra sat, reading his words aloud, ensuring that his life, though brief, would never be lost to time. Now tell me, what would you do if you found out that you age a year every day of your life? Would you waste it, or would you live it out? This is the tale of a legend who was cursed to live his days like they were his last. Now, if you want to hear more tales, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for when a new scroll unfolds.